Hi guys, Sandy from the Paddle School. In this video today we're going to do a match analysis for a group of ladies that have sent in their video from Sweden, and it's about intermediate level, but so many of the aspects we're going to talk about today are evident for players of all levels, both male and female, so this is definitely worth a watch. Now today we're going to cover court positions, transitions, late preparation, communication, and then the Bandeja and the Bajada, which is the attacking ball off the glass. So if you haven't subscribed already, please click subscribe. It shows me that you like this match analysis content and you want to see more of it in the future. To begin with the court positioning. Now you'll see a lot of these examples throughout the video, so I'm only just going to show you a few at the beginning, a few common errors, a few ways that players get into that wrong position. A common problem for the court position can be when players start in the wrong position. Here you can see the returner is too close to the line and therefore it's only one step forward and she's actually standing on the line. And now she gets into trouble for the rest of the point because she hasn't gone back into the correct court position at the back of the court. And this can be something where even if you don't start in that position, it can also be a bit of a bad habit that players, they get to the back and without really thinking about it, take a couple of steps forward like this and therefore they're out of position, and it means that each time they have a difficult shot. And the same can happen from the front of the court. You hit a good volley like this and you leave a big gap because you already started moving back. Here you can see the volleyer, they're moving back, waiting for, it looks like a bandeja or a lob, and they've left that space to the side. If you struggle with your court position, a good way to kind of keep an eye on this is to check your court position before you start the point and at the end of the point, just to see where you are in relation to where you should be, either at the back of the court or the front of the court. And if you're out of position, just give yourself a mental reminder that you need to stick to the back court position or the front court position. Now we're going to have a little look at the transitions. To start with, we'll look at some good examples of the transition. So here the server comes forward, hits a good volley into that corner, they're defending, and this ball, if it can't be volleyed, they should really try and hit down and recover the net straight away, but the opponents at the far end have done a great job of coming forward off that ball. As soon as you see your opponent's back, come quickly to net to take that net position. So another example here, we see a good first pickup volley here, and she's done the right thing going for this lob into the open space, and really when she comes forward should play to the player at the back because then it would be easy for her and her partner to get forward. But it's managed to recover the point again to come forward like this, and this is good kind of moving forward and backwards here with the lob. Nice Bandeja, got to recover that net, good volley. You can see her court position almost had her in trouble there, just stepping inside the service line again. But generally that was good transition. Again, we're looking at this here, a nice lob, you've got to come forward. If you hit the bandeja, it's because you've got to recover the net position, and the girls at the far end lost the opportunity to come forward there. If there's one player back, you should always try and play to that player and then recover your net position or take the net position. And here we can see another example of hitting the bandeja and staying at the back. And what happens, you can see that back player is staying back there. She hasn't recovered the net and therefore her partner is out of position. But fortunately for them, the opponents play both the shots to the volleyer when they should play to the back player, and they've got away with it. In this point, we'll look at some examples of coming forward. So here there's a great start from the girls at the far end with a nice bandeja holding that net position. Good first volley. You can see that the players this end are kind of rushing a bit to try and get to net. You see constantly moving forward when really they need to take their time. And at the other end, they're doing a great job of volleying and bandeja to control the speed. This is what they need to do, is to lob and then take the net position. And then it's a lot easier, a lot less risky. But here we can see that the other end are also trying to do that a little bit by coming forward and rushing when it's not quite the right time. I feel like here the player tried to do the right thing coming forward, but she's got to get a lot closer to the net if she wants to block the bandeja. You can see there when we talk about transitions, it's about being patient at the back of the court, waiting for the right opportunity to come forward. And when you do come forward, try and hold on to that net position. And that might mean getting fast into position or recovering fast after your bandeja. But either way, you want to try and hold it once you get there. We'll talk about the bandeja later, but for now, we'll talk about late preparation at net and at the back of the court. So looking at the late preparation here, mainly with the volley to start with, you can see whenever the ball floats up like that off the volley, it's because it's been taken late. Same with that bandeja there. The contact is a little bit behind, which means the racket face is open and therefore it's a bit higher and softer. But a big problem here is players preparing for the wrong side. So here, waiting for a forehand and then getting a backhand like this means you're going to be late on that ball. So you always want to try and get into position as early as possible from your ready position. Here we can see again, it's a little bit late on the contacts and a nice bandeja there down the middle, and just a little bit late on that backhand volley means it floats up and is easy for the opponent. A common error, particularly at net, is moving too late. Here you can see the returner, they hit the ball and the volleyer is only moving the racket back at the last minute, and therefore the volley is late and out of control. This is not a technical problem, this is just being prepared and expecting every ball to come to you so that you're ready when it does. And the same also applies to easier balls. So here we see a good example. The server comes forward, hits a great first volley attacking, and then is delayed in her movement for the next one, which means she rushes at the end and ends up making a mistake. Late preparation can also be seen at the back of the court. So here we see an example here of a nice bandeja from this side, and the player doesn't react and take the racket back until the ball bounces. And you see again off the volley, the racket only just goes back right at the end, meaning that the player is late on their ground strokes and therefore could make a mistake. So you can see there are a few examples of that late preparation, and that really is just a question of expecting the ball always to come to you. It's very easy in doubles to start watching your partner hit the ball, you go back on your heels and therefore you're a little bit slow to that next ball. But you want to be split stepping whenever your opponents contact the ball and really trying to prepare as early as possible, because then you'll have more options when it comes to hitting the ball. Next we're going to give a few examples of communication. So here we're going to look at the communication in this point, and generally to begin with it starts off really well with some good volleys, good bandejas, holding the net position here, and if you've worked hard for the point, it's really important that if you do get an easy ball that you make the most of it and one of you chooses to go for it. You can also see the same from the back of the court here. When the lob goes up, that delay, that slight delay means that you're unable to attack that next ball, and it happens again at this end. Particularly off the lob, someone needs to be assertive and call mine. It's better to call mine than calling yours, and just to get straight into that shot as soon as you see that it's going in that position. And we see the same again here where the pair at the far end are attacking in a good position, and this miscommunication here where they both stall while they're going back for it means that they end up right at the back of the court and end up losing the point because they're on the back foot. When it comes to practicing communication, it's almost better that you talk too much on court than not enough. If you watch the World Padel Tour players, you'll see that they're constantly talking to each other, explaining where the opponents are, calling mine, yours, that kind of thing. So when you're playing your match, just try and get used to communicating a lot with your partner, particularly if you're relatively new playing together. That's really a time when it can help to do a lot of talking. Now we're going to have a little look at the bandeja. When it comes to the smashes, a couple of things that we're looking for, and mainly that's the shot intention. So if you play down the line, it's usually because you're in a really attacking position or your opponent is out of position, but otherwise most of the time it'd be down the middle like that last one, or cross court. And as a player, when you're trying to improve this part of the game, make it really obvious if it's an attacking or defensive smash. Because at the moment, some of these you can't really tell if the players are attacking or if they're defending their court position. Here's a good example of the bandeja. Like, for example, this one goes over the head, so it's a little bit more defensive. It's a bit short, but then the next one going for that side angle, and you can see that the person is out of position and therefore it's very difficult to defend. In this example here, we're going to see some more good examples and a bad example. So here coming back, that's a good example. It's deep and she's managed to recover the net position, which is really important. Again, good bandejas into this corner, recovering the net position, which is the purpose of this shot, with the aim to not being attacked too much. And here we're going to see an example. Bandeja's just a little bit hard off that back glass and it bounces too much and it's easy for the opponent to hit. This rebound is important to consider for smashing and for volleying. Here you can see a nice one, it's fast and it rebounds, but because it's in the corner it's a little bit difficult to deal with, but this volley is also too bouncy off that back glass, which means the opponents can come forward. So you have to also think about the speed of your shot. It's about finding the right pace for your shot intention. You can see there that that bandeja bounced too much off, and again a fast one, but into the corner. You get away with it, but you still need to recover that net after your bandeja, so you need it to be a little bit slower in order to give yourself time to come forward. We're going to see another example here, and this one is almost like a little bit too slow off the smash. Here the bandeja, you'd see too short, too slow, means they get attacked. Okay, they won the point, but it's the point that you need to have shot intention with your bandeja. Again, a fast one off that glass means that they can come forward and attack, particularly if you hit straight down the middle of the court or towards that back glass and not at an angle. This is a good one. She was out of position at the far end but managed to get away with this. This is a situation where you have to play to the person at the back, otherwise you're going to be scrabbling around if you always play to the volleyer. So we'll look at a few more examples of trying to get this speed right. Here you can see another smash that goes fast off that back glass, and it means the players can automatically take that net position. See how quickly the players at the far end lost that net position. Here you can see nice soft Bandeja at the top there. Bit unlucky with that the volley was a little bit tough down by the feet, but it was the right shot intention. Again, an attacking one off the back glass means that they're attacked straight away, so you have to be accurate with these smashes. So one more example looking at the Bandeja here, and this is a good point because it also has the next section which we talk about, which is the Bajada. So here the point starts, and the players at this end have a good net position. This is a tough high backhand volley. The player hits a nice attacking ball after that back glass, which we're going to talk about. Good volley into the corner. So these at this end are really attacking the point well, but here you can see that the smash, it bounces too much off that back glass again, which leads us into that shot attacking after the glass. So you can see how important the accuracy and the speed of the shot is, and also the shot intention. Your intention is what you want to do with that shot. So for example, if there's a high lob, a deep lob, you come back, you hit your Bandeja, your intention for that shot is to recover the net position. So you need to hit that slow enough that it gives you time to recover, but also accurate enough that your opponents can't attack you straight away. Now when it comes to the technique for the Bandeja and all the overheads, I have an overhead course on my website, thepadelschool.com, and there you can see how you should be using the technique on those shots. Now we're going to talk about the Bajada next, which is the attacking shot after the back glass. For me, I think the most common error that I see with the Bajada is not actually using it. And this rally is a typical example of what I see a lot at the recreational level. See, there's an opportunity to attack the ball after the glass, but the players are not quite backward enough, and therefore they have to hit a lob. And then the opponents, they do the same because they're not in that position. And again, we're going to see another one here that is nice high ball, but they have to lob because they're not quite in the right position, and eventually someone makes the mistake. You've got to get behind that ball straight away in order to attack it. As soon as you're lobbed, you should get back fast into position behind the ball so that you have at least an opportunity to attack it if you want to. And when players do get back for the ball, sometimes the technical error is the contact is behind. So they get back in position, their intention is to attack, which is great, but you can see they wait for the ball and therefore they have to end up scooping a bit because it is behind them. The other thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that you give yourself plenty of space on this shot, because if it gets too close, like we're going to see here, it's difficult for you to swing properly because it's right in line with your body. But the fastest way to improve this shot is to always think to try and hit it. So again, we see two examples of lobs here where the player could actually get back and play a little bit more aggressively, but they're waiting and then hit a lob. So you can see from the examples there with the attacking shot after the glass, the Bajada, that often players don't even consider hitting this shot. Like as soon as the lob goes over the head, they kind of jog back and then they hit another lob back to their opponents. Whereas most of the time, this is a great opportunity to attack straight away and if possible, gain that net position straight away. You just need to get back early, prepare early, and give yourself plenty of space so you can step into the ball. And something with this shot that I like to say is that it's better that you're too far away and you can step forward at the last moment if you need to, rather than being too close and then you need to step away, which means your body weight is going in the wrong direction. The courses we have on the website are specifically designed to help you with these areas of the game. So I've already mentioned the overheads course for the Bandeja. Again, the walls course would also help you with this attacking shot after the glass. I'll put the link down in the description below, but those are really good places to start if you want to improve those parts of your game. On this side, I'm also going to put a playlist of match analysis videos. If you like this type of content, then it's a good way of binge watching some of those, and you'll see all the different areas and different topics that we talk about in these different videos.